waste all pain. He brings beauty out of brokenness and hope through our heartaches. Healing out of every hurt that invades our shattered world. We never walk through trials in vain. He's the Redeemer of the
Hello, everybody. Oh my, we are back after a long time. And before I even introduce myself or say who we are or anything like that, I just need you guys to go post, whoever is online, please go post and tell everyone that we are here. We are here. We are back. We are back, guys, after a very long time. Share the link. Let everyone know that we are live. I'm just going to give you guys a few seconds and the music can keep playing as we share the link, yeah? Okay, let me share the link too.
Redeemer of the rain, the Lord will never waste all pain. He brings beauty out of brokenness and hope through our heartaches. Healing out of every hurt that invades our shattered world. We never walk through trials in vain. He's the Redeemer of the rain. Redeemer of the rain, the Lord will never waste all pain. He brings beauty out of brokenness and hope through our heartaches. Healing out of every hurt that invades our shattered world. We never walk through trials in vain. He's the Redeemer of the rain.
Okay, guys, so I see some of you are live. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Everyone that has joined, we are back at The Voice That Heals. My name is Dureti. I am your host for today. And the title, as you can see down there, it says Embracing the Mirror of Me. Now, this story is not about me. I'll just tell you about that person in a few. But the title is Embracing the Mirror of Me, learning to love the person God has made me to be in order to love others. I just want to ask you guys, has it ever affected you that, have you ever known that when you don't love the person that God has made you to be, it's hard for you to love the people around you? Yes, that's the fact. So today we are going to have our sweet sister, very beautiful sister, join us, and she's already blushing, as you can, as you'll see in a little bit. Divora, please join me on the screen. Okay, so welcome, Divora.
Thanks for having me. Hey, guys.
Hello. So this is my sister Divora, and she's going to start sharing her story, but just a little introduction on her. As I said, she's a very sweet girl, a Christian, a person who loves God. What else, man? There's a lot I can say. But one thing I'll say is throughout this entire testimony, you'll see that I'm going to ask her things and all that type of thing. But we grew up together. She's like my sister, my little sister, even though she won't accept it. Yeah, she's like my baby girl. So yeah, like I know her in and out, but today we're going to discover some things that I may not know. And also, she's going to share her story with you. So if you know anyone who is struggling with loving themselves, loving the person whom God has made them to be, or if you know anyone who is dealing with such things, or you yourself, you're dealing with such things, please join us. Make sure you like, comment. There is a live chat happening. My husband James, come say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, my husband James is leading the live chat, so please join in there and comment as we go on. So now let us start. Okay, Divora. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know I'm from yapping, but tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe like back in the days, the little Divora.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Divora. I'm Eritrean and I was born in Eritrea. And I grew up in Uganda, right? So little me, I can say I was a shy person, quiet person. And but I actually love people. Like ever since I was young until right now, I love people. So I think
Amen.
that's
Yeah, and let me tell you a fun fact. She may seem quiet here in front of you. Once I just tell her we are off, if I was to like deceive her and then just tell her we are off, la 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 la, she will start spoiling stories. So man, guys, don't judge me here saying I'm talkative. Deborah is my twin off screen. So just wanted to share that fun fact. Okay, so Deborah, share with us about your family. Also a little bit about where you grew up and how did that, affect you, or how did that model you into the person that you are today?
okay. I'm the firstborn in our family, and I have 3 sisters. And my role model is my mom, my best friend, and the love of my life is my mom. And yeah, like it's just I can say that my mom is the person who has shaped me to be who I am right now. And when I was younger, I like life was simple, it was easy and everything. But when we moved to Uganda, that's when all this, things started happening. So when I was younger in Eritrea, I was loved by everyone and everything. I was the firstborn, when and my mom is the firstborn. So I was the first grandchild for my grandparents and for her whole family. So everyone was excited, Divora is here and everything. And I was pampered actually, I was spoiled. I'd be like, I want this, and they would give me, I want that, and they would give me. And then life was okay in Eritrea. When we moved to Uganda, life is hard when you move to a new country. We didn't know the language. We didn't know how to interact with the people there. It was really hard. When we came to Canada, it was easier because, English, we used to speak English in Uganda, but from Eritrea to Uganda, it was a bit tough. So, yeah, life was okay for like 3 years. But then when I was 8 years, I got really sick to the extent that the doctors were losing hope that I would actually survive, right? So yeah, I was in the hospital and everything. And yeah, it was really a tough moment. And due to that moment, I was losing like I was I was losing so much weight. My hair was falling off and everything. And my appearance wasn't, when you're sick, your appearance isn't that good. Yeah, so I was in the hospital in and out, in and out. I would spend weeks in the hospital, months and everything. And it was actually like I went to the hospital when it was like, when you're at the last stage, like if I hadn't gone at that moment, I would have died. So it was like at the last stage of like the doctors were like, you people are late, but it's not too late, right? So yeah, like I was experiencing so many things. I was like, sick and everything. And I was already like depressed, stressed about the illness and everything. But people were adding more stress to me, right? So because I was losing like so much weight, people were like talking about the way my body is. Fun fact, I've always been skinny my whole life. So even when I got better, like, I'm still skinny. So everybody would tell me like, why aren't you eating? You're gonna break and everything. And my hair was also falling off. You know, when like my hair was falling off, and people started nicknaming me 5 piece, five
Wow.
piece hair.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'd feel bad, and I wouldn't show it that I was feeling bad. But at that moment, all I wanted was people to accept me for who I was. And people kind of isolated me because they were like, oh, she's sick, she's like,
Mm,
oh, when someone has a disease and everybody's running away from them. So
mm.
they kind of
It's
made me.
not, by the way, just to make it clear, it's not like she had some infectious disease or mania STD or
No,
HIV. Like, and even people who have that, you don't run away from them. But it's not like she had any of those things, just to make it clear. Neither did she have cancer, praise be to God. So, guys, just to clear your head there, okay? Yeah, when she's ready, she will share what it is, but don't put your assumptions. By the way, did you have this? Ah, ah, ah. So let's leave it at, let's hear the story. Yes, go ahead, Divora. Sorry for cutting you short.
It's okay. I'm not like 100% open about it. So that's like, I haven't said the name of it, but yeah, it's not like something like I'll touch you and you get it, or, like flu, out cough and then you get it too. It wasn't like that. Like there was no way of transmitting it to somebody else, but I don't know why everybody was like running away. And like they made me feel like I was the black sheep in front of everybody. And my mom would say, "Oh, let's go for this," and I'm like, "I don't want to go because um, I was feeling like I was the only one." And I would ask God, like, "Why did you bring this curse upon me?" Right? Like I'm a little girl, I don't know anything. Like why are other kids playing and everything, and me, all I do is go to the hospitals and everything, and taking medications, what and everything. Like, why am I the one suffering? Like, I would even ask her, like, did my parents do anything wrong that I'm being punished? I used to believe that whatever your parents do at some point, you're gonna get punished for it. So I was like, did my parents do something? Or like, what did they do and everything? So that was in grade 3. I reached grade 6, and it was too much that me and my mom, we decided to cut off my hair. Remember when my hair was off?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So we decided to cut off my hair because, like, man, people were calling me 5 piece hair, and it was too much that I felt so ashamed, and I was like, I prefer it being off than people calling me 5 piece hair.
And you know
And
what's funny? Like, just to interrupt, because guys, now for me, I'm on the other side of the picture, right? Me, I used to see this girl as like so beautiful. I'm like, bro, this girl is so gorgeous. When she tells this story, me, I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with those people who say those comments. They must have, like, because for me, one thing I believe is like bullies already have things in their head, like they come from broken families, they come from broken homes, they already, you see, and that's why we're talking about it today. It's, if you don't have love for who you are, for whom God has made you, for your family, for your life, then you are going to reflect that negativity on other people. So, and that's what I guess those people were doing. Because for me, when I remember when I asked, bro, why did you cut off your hair? Like, are you mad? Like for me, I didn't understand. She had beautiful hair. She was so gorgeous. Like model like figure. Kumbe, other people were there making fun of her. So yeah, you never know what someone is going through.
yeah. So yeah, I went and I cut off my hair and everything. And when I went to school, everybody was like, "Why did you cut off your hair?" And I was like, "Bro, like, and they also used to make fun of me for being short. Remember when I was younger, I was short.
Yeah.
So yeah, but when I reached grade 6, I became so tall. I cut off my hair and everything. And people were like saying I was short and everything. Then when I became tall, everybody was like, "You're so tall." And I was like,
People will never
"What?"
be considered. People will
Yeah.
never be
And I was like, when I'm short, people say you're short. When I'm tall, people say I'm tall. Like, what do you want me to be? Like,
I know.
And at some point, I was even telling God, man, reduce my height. People are making fun of me. Everyone was calling me giraffe. flamingo, like
No, now we can laugh at it because there is a flip side to this story, guys. Okay, just wait for it. Wait for it. Yes, go ahead.
and I was like, I want to grow short now. I want to go back. And yeah, I became taller. I cut off my hair. I looked like a different person. And I finished primary when it was, and I was a normal kid, right? And I didn't get that love, anything. But I really, like, even though I wanted attention, even though I wanted love, I didn't get it. So I went to high school, and that's where.
Before you get there, because guys, the story is about to change. Okay, before you get there, I just want to say, like, guys, okay, when we were young, we were not that, like, the first days we met, we were not that close, obviously. Then as time went, we grew closer and stuff like that. And to be honest, now for me, I also had a similar story, not in terms of like the sickness and all that, but now for me, it was the opposite of hers was slimness. Mine was like, I had a high school body shape in a primary year old kid. So you can imagine, like, I had breasts, I had hips, I had all these things like from grade 4, So I developed very quickly, and people used to be like, how do you have hips? So they used to make fun of me. And you know what I realized again with like people who make fun of you and things like that? They wish they had what you have. They wish they had what you have. Because Divora had a very nice body, like really a model's body, to be honest, So people really admired her body and they wished they had her body. And they knew that if they allowed her to like be praised and all that and the positive words to go around, she would probably be the most popular kid in the school, the most loved kid in the school. So in order to prevent that, they crumble it down by dirtifying her name. That's what haters always do, But we're going to see what should you do for your haters. Yeah? The remedy is not hating them back. The remedy is the total opposite. But obviously, we first did probably what that thing. We first did what the devil. We first did the wrong things in order to learn the right things, and that's why we're here to share with you, so that you don't do those wrong things. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Now we get into high school. By the way, I want to know, how is the live chat going? Anybody, some updates? How is the live chat? How are you guys enjoying this so far? Comment down, tell us how it is going. Tell us how you're enjoying this. How is the testimony going? Do you feel, yeah? Are you envisioning this entire drama? We're going to get into more drama. Divora, get into detail. High school. Blow their mind now.
I joined high school. It wasn't a high school that I really wanted to go. I wanted a different high school, an international high school, but because it was far and everything, my mom took me to a public school. So I was in a private primary.
It wasn't public, it was a private school. But it just was a private.
It was a government
local
school.
No, it's a private local school. Yeah.
So in my primary, I was in a private school where I was, with, it's not like I was with rich kids, right? So yeah, like and at some point you want to reach where those kids are, right? You want to dress like them and everything. But at the same time, I was this kid that never used to care in primary, to be honest. But then when we went to high school, people were like, I can say average. They weren't very rich. Some were rich, some were poor. Obviously, there were mixture, but the biggest percentage was average. So in Uganda, I can say I was from, my parents weren't average, they were a bit rich. So so I felt like, I'm on the top now. So this is where my pride started, growing and growing. And people used to, okay, like in Uganda, brown people or white people are praised for their skin color. So
Zungu.
Zungu. Yeah. So in primary, I wasn't really praised because there were so many Indians, Eritreans, and everything. But when I went to my high school, there were mostly Ugandans. There were also other like Eritreans and everything, but we were very few. So every time they're like Muzungu, Muzungu, you know, and everything. And I don't know, I started getting popular. I don't know how, but I just started getting popular. And people started praising me, you know, oh, you have, okay, like in my primary, you're allowed to have hair, but in my in high school, they don't allow hair. So in high school, I was
But now
among
you're very different.
yeah, I was different. Now I have hair, and you know, and we used to wear big uniforms, so I guess nobody used to see my actual size, you know. So I was skinny and everything, but I reached in senior two one time, and I think that's where I became popular. There was a concert going on, and the MC told two guys to pick two girls from the audience, right? And
Just you people, if you're not enjoying this story, you have a problem. You have a problem.
one of the girls is even, you know, watching. Hey, it's a guy, you know.
Edgar, hello.
Yeah. So they told them choose two people, and when they told them choose two people, I was scared. I was really scared. You know, when you know something is going to happen, so your heart starts pumping. I was scared, so I started like grabbing my bag and going out. But then the guy came and pulled my hand, and he was like, "I'm taking you in the front."
Your mom is hearing this for the first time.
Yeah. And
Hi, mama. We were good girls in school, just so you know.
well, I didn't do anything bad. Anyways, and I was like, bro, there are thousands of girls out here. Go choose another girl. Like, you know, I have anxiety when it comes to a large number of people. So I told him, I can't, like, I can't. And he was like, I'm not leaving until you go up. And I was forced and pushed to the stage out there. And when I went there, and the first thing I did was look at the students. And you know how many students were in my school, right?
How many?
Yeah, there were about 5,000 students. I don't know how many were in that concert, but they're around 5,000. And so I was watching the time because that's the time my mama comes to pick me up. You know, I was mommy's girl, so she used to pick me up and drop me to school. So I'll check the time and I'm like, oh shoot, my mom is there, you know, she's waiting for me. And
that's the scariest part, honestly speaking. Even me, I've been in those situations where like you're stuck in some place and then your parents, whoo, and the way they used to have this what I used to call it the taboo of boys near us. So I'm sure your heart was
my heart was almost getting out, you know. I was like, if my mom comes here, I'm dead. Like, you know, I'm dead. I'm crucified and everything. And I look at the door to make sure like my mom is not coming because I was surrounded by guys. And they brought us there to dance, but we didn't actually dance. And I think from that moment onwards, that's where everybody knew who I was, you know. And they actually used to call me mommy's girl because my mom used to pick me up and drop me. And my mom was, I can say, in the school, you know, a part of the school. Whenever I call her, I'm like, Mama, pick me up. And, you know, she comes pick me up and everything. So, yeah, but when I was receiving so much love, at the same time, I was receiving hate, right? And, you know, my scars on my face, they're no longer there, but I used to have them, and people used to call me witch. And yeah, and I used to go to Dureti and tell her, oh, I can't wait to grow up and do surgery. Trust me, I didn't know what plastic surgery was. But I don't know where I used to say I'm going to do surgery. And she's like, they're nice though. And she never used to understand that I was being called witch at school. Like people used to call me witch. And I'd
Because
be
me, I
like,
used to see beauty, you people. How do you tell me the beauty is now ugliness? Me, I never used to understand, and I still don't understand. Okay, those people, they just have a mental problem. Let me just say that. Actually, the people who need the diagnosis is the people who are giving business, not you.
uh, so we used to meet with Dureti every Sabbath and during the week, sometimes in the holidays, and every time I look at myself in the mirror, I'll tell her I want to do plastic surgery. And she's like, bruh, what's wrong with you? You know, and I'd be like, you don't understand. People call me witch. You know what it's like to be called witch. And she's like, just ignore them and everything. And then I'd be like, bruh. So Dreti, because you know, she was that big girl. Me, I was the skinny girl. So at my school, they started calling me a boy because I was in S2 when girls had the shape and I was, you know, that toothpick. And
Okay, guys, I'm not laughing. It's because we grew up together. So for us, we can laugh. Please, relax.
So actually we were opposites. So I was the
I don't know
skinny.
why, like people, I don't know, funny thing, most close friends, you will find one who is like huge, then the other is tiny. Like it's always like, I used to laugh at this. I remember when we were in Cherokee, I used to laugh, they were the best friends in the world. Like I remember there was this guy and this other guy. One of them was so thin and so tall, like tall. Then the other was very short and very thin. And we used to be like, hey, these guys are best friends. But you know what, guys? You have to love everyone for who they are because everyone is different and everyone has their challenges, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, true. So they used to call me boy. Some used to call me flat chest, toothpick, like all those names. I used to get all those names. And remember, I used to wear short dresses to church. So you know when you have shape and you wear a long dress, you look cute. You know, it looks good. But when a skinny person wears a long dress, man, it doesn't. Okay, to me, it doesn't look good.
It
So
looks good.
so I used to wear short dresses, and everyone is like, "Why are you wearing short dresses? Why are you wearing short dresses?" Right? But there was no way of telling them I'm wearing short dresses because of my size. Because I never used to talk about this unless you're like a very close person. I think it's only Drit who I used to tell, like, I want to do surgery, I want to do this and everything.
And
But
funny thing, guys, again, me, I just want to, I'm here to correct the misconceptions, okay? She wasn't flat, just for your own understanding. Girl had all the curves and everything, but she had it in a model. Like, you know how models are? Just that's how she was. But because in Uganda, like, man, in Uganda, it's the place of curviness. Those people have curves, like serious curves. Like even me, I was one of the smaller curves, and yet like I was also bigger. So they really have curves. They really have all those things. So it makes you feel less of a woman if you're not that curvy. And I know, like when I came here and I used to talk to people, they're like, why are you people from Uganda so obsessed with that type of thing? But like, it's not that we are obsessed with it. It's just the thing that we grew up in. Obviously, that was before I found Christ. But like, it's just the thing that we grew up in. So it's easy to get caught up in how your body looks because everyone there, it's like it's a natural thing to just have that hourglass shape. And for us, it wasn't really that case. Yeah.
Yeah, like from Eritrea and Ethiopia, we're the skinny ones. We're not blessed in that, like the way the Ugandans are, right? So every country has their own beauty, I can say. Like some country has hair, some country has the face, some country they have the beauty, the body and everything. Yeah. So if you go to Eritrea with that shape, people, it's weird. Then when you come to Uganda, you're like, well, like
Yeah.
yeah. So another thing that was a problem was my walking style. So so people say I used to, like the way I walk is like the way I'm in a modeling stage or anything. And most of the girls, they used to say that I was forging it. I was forging that walking style, and to be honest, that's how I walk. Like I swing my legs, you know how I walk, right? So I was like, I don't force it. That's how I walk. And they're like, no, you force it for attention and everything. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to argue with you. Do you know what I started doing? When I go home, I started practicing how to walk, like no more walking. And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna walk like this. So I go to school and walk like a normal, like how most people walk. And then in the middle of it, I end up going back to the way I walk. I
Because
forget.
it's natural to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. And then I'm like, Farah, you forgotten that you're supposed to walk like this. I was forcing myself to be somebody I wasn't, just because I didn't want people to talk bad. Yeah. So like also, you know how I was bullied in primary and everything. Guess what? I became the bully myself.
It does happen. Honestly, guys, if you don't heal, you'll end up being that thing that you dreaded for so long. Yeah.
Mhm. It's not like I went to you and I told you, oh, you have ugly eyes.
Mm.
I never used to do that. I never used to get that person. But when I used to love giving people nicknames, and I used to give nicknames by something that I be like, ugly eyes. And I would call you ugly eyes forever. And I thought like it's going to make me feel better because people were making fun of me, right? I was like,
Yeah. So you think revenge is the way?
if I make fun of other people, I'm going to feel better. But that actually made me a bad person. And until now, whenever Dureti tells me, remember you nicknamed this person, I'm like, oh, don't you mind?
She had a lot of nicknames, and guys, don't come to me telling me what was my nickname. Choose me. Let's leave the things in the past to the past. We are now new. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So senior three, that was the last year I was in Uganda. And yeah, so all my close friends, they left the school. My best friend, Saga, she was coming to Canada. And then my best friend, who was a guy at that time, he changed school. So I was the only one in the
And that
class. Yeah, like all the crazy people were out. I used to be the crazy one, but when you cannot be crazy alone, but
yeah,
you can be crazy with your group. Yeah. So I used
yeah.
to be the fun one, and it's not I wasn't the funniest, but I was fun and crazy with them. But when they went, man, life wasn't the same. I felt like the whole world became dark, and I actually started hating school. I used to love going to school because when your friends are there, it's more
Yeah.
interesting thing, yeah. And then, but everybody in my class used to hate me. I don't know why. Not everybody, but there were some people who actually loved and respected me, but most of the people hated me. And they would be like, "Oh, she's doing this for attention and everything." And I used to be like, don't worry, I'm even gonna be worse. So
Yeah.
instead of just being myself, instead of just not caring, I used
Yeah.
to do things to annoy people.
Mm.
And so they'll be like, oh, she thinks she has hair and everything. And I'll go to school when my hair is opened. Or I have braids and everything. And I'm like, yes, I have hair. And
Oh,
they be like, oh, you think you have this? And I'm like, yes, I have it. Let me even show you.
hey.
Senior three, in senior one and senior two, they used to give us very big uniforms. I don't know why, but they used to give us big uniforms. So you know what I did? Senior one and senior two, I didn't fit my uniforms. Senior three, I went and fitted my uniforms and everything. I was like, you think you people are the only ones who fit. Let me also show you that I also can fit. I felt,
Hey.
yeah, I was like, I felt like I am also powerful. You're not the only powerful person, right? Yeah, so man, I used to feel like what? I had so much pride. Like I had so much pride. I used to like whenever I'm going for assembly, I wanted all eyes on me, you know? Whenever
Yes.
when I'm entering class, when people look and they're like, oh, Divora is entering, I'm like, I am entering, look at me, you know?
Sorry. Yeah.
And I was actually known, like if you say, like my mom used to come and she can't find me and she's like, guys, can you help me look for Divora? They're like, oh, Divora, yeah. You know, like everybody knew me in some way or another, you know? And but then yeah, in senior three, there were these girls who I don't know why they hated me. But so one time they actually man, I never used to do housework. I used to have housemates. So all I have to do is go to school. That's all I used to do. Go to school, come back home, sleep and everything. So in my school, you have to sweep. So I used to, tell the prefect sweep for me, like, put me my name there, put my name there and everything. Or sometimes I'd give them money. I'd tell them, take this one for soda, and then they'll be like,
Bribery. These are the corrupt people. We see you. Some of us, we swept all our lives. Yeah, you go along with cheating.
So I used to play my ways out of it in senior one and senior two. Sometimes I used to sweep, but I used to play my ways too. Senior three, there were two class monitors, female and male. So the male, I'd be like, come on, sweep for me and everything. But the female one, yeah, she was strict, She would tell me sweep and everything. And I'll be like, like my friends weren't there. We wouldn't, when I used to sweep with them, it was more fun. But now, yeah, as I said, you know what, I'll just sweep, I'm alone, so why not? And senior three was actually the class I used to sweep. And when the class teacher used to come like Fridays, on every Fridays, to check how the class is and everything. And then they were like, oh, Divora has never swept. I was like, I have swept. And then they were like, no, you have never swept. And they were in a group. They always say two heads are better than one. So I was the only one I was the only one saying, no, I sweep and everything. And they were like, no. So they actually punished me for a whole week to sweep the class alone.
Wow.
And I'll feel bad. I'll be like, bro, I've never even swept
that is serious hatred, for real.
Mm-hmm. And then I used to hate those girls so much. And one time they stole a friend's they stole a friend's pen or something from her bag, thinking it was mine. So my friend is a South Sudanese, and you know how South Sudanese are. Yeah, never touch a South Sudanese, right? So they thought it was my bag and everything, and they were like, they stole. And the girl, you know what she did? She's like, everybody remove your stuff from your bags. I'm looking for my pen. And she actually found it and everything. And they actually thought it was mine and they stole her things. And I was like, why? Why would you steal? Okay, theft is something simple in Uganda, but that one I was like, why would you steal like a pen? So, and then one time they actually planned to attack me, and one of them came to me and told me, Divora, they're gonna attack you. They're planning to beat you up and everything. So after school, most teachers are not there, so like they can do anything to you. And like you have not in Uganda, you have rights, but you don't have rights like the way it is in Canada. In Canada, if someone touches you, they're dead. But in Uganda, it's like the security is not really good. So, so you know what I did? I called my mom and I told her, Mama, I'm sick. And she's like, my baby, you're sick. Okay, I'm going to come and pick you up and everything. And I had to pretend that I was sick. I'd be like, oh, my head, it's about to explode. When I'm fine, like very well. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I had to escape, because if they hit me, if they do something to me, I'm sure my mom is gonna do something too. She's gonna say, why did you, like, there's gonna be a lot of chaos. So I said the only thing is to lie and to pretend that I was sick, so that I can run out of the situation. And I would go home from school and I tell mom, I wanna go out of Uganda. And she's like, why? Like, you love Uganda. Like, this is where you grew up from. I'm like, I know, but I don't wanna stay here. And like, sometimes I'd give excuses. Oh, my head is hurting when it's time to go to school. I was in senior 1 and senior 2, I'm all excited to go to school and everything. But then in senior 3, I'm like, oh, my head hurts. Oh, just giving excuses so that I wouldn't go to school, because I knew, like, if I go to school, something is gonna happen, right? So I hated school so much, like so much, like yeah, because like those girls were giving me like a really hard time, and by the end, they were like, "Oh, you're going to Canada," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not going back to school."
Yeah, wow, 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 wow. Okay, so you guys, you've seen how this story has like come like woo, it's like, but yeah, there is more to this story, her life in Canada, and then her life now, who she is and what she has learned and the lessons that she has to share with you. But before that, we are going to go into our break. Thank you so much, Divora, for sharing your story. I hope you guys are enjoying this testimony. Please let us know in the comment section or in the live chat how it is going, how you're loving it, and what you're learning from this. We're not just here to share stories, as in we want you guys to learn something from it, right? And I was sharing my story the other day with someone on the phone, and they were telling me, this is a movie you're describing to me. This is not your story. So when you hear it, I'll just direct them to Divora's story, because our stories are very similar. So as people know, we are not lying. That's just our life. So this is not a movie that she's telling you guys. This is her life story, and I hope that you are being blessed by it. Divora, are you ready to share? By the way, she's our tech person too, so praise God for that. So are you ready? Yeah. Okay. So we will have our break. Enjoy the music, and we'll be back in a few. Just grab a cup of water. Don't go anywhere. Hi guys, my name is Dureti.
My name is James.
And we're going to sing for you the song Your Grace Still Amazes Me. We hope you stay blessed. My faithful Father, enduring friend, your tender mercies like a river with no end, it overwhelms me, covers my sin each time I come into your presence. I stand in wonder once again. Your grace still amazes me. Your love is still a mystery. Each day I fall on my knees, 'cause your grace still amazes me. Your grace still amazes me. Oh, patient Savior, you make me whole. You are the author and the healer of my soul. What can I give you, Lord? What can I say? I know there's no way to repay you, only to offer you my
Your love is still a mystery. Each day I fall on my knees, 'cause your grace still amazes me. Your grace still amazes me. It's deeper, it's wider, it's stronger, it's higher. It's deeper, it's wider, it's stronger, it's higher than anything my eyes can see. Your grace still amazes me. Your love is still a mystery. Each day I fall on my knees. Your grace still amazes me. Your grace still amazes me.
Amen, 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 amen. I just went to check and I saw that many of you are watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back from our break. This is the voice that heals. Today we are being joined by our sister Divora, and she is sharing about how her journey has been on, loving the person that God has made her to be. So we are going to have her back. And by the way, that was me and my wonderful husband singing, not my twin sister. So yeah. But anyway, Divora, welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How is it going? How do you think it's going?
I'm excited.
Yeah, okay, great. So we're going to now continue to your life in Canada. We don't have much time, so but don't rush it at the same time. But just tell us, take your time, tell us, because people are enjoying, I am enjoying, the angels are enjoying. So share your story with the same passion that you had. Yeah, now your life in Canada, and then after we'll go to your life now.
Okay. So before I came to Canada, I used to tell Dureti, oh, when I got to Canada, I'm going to be a normal person, because in Uganda, I was like, I was praised and everything because of my color. But when I got to Canada, I'm just gonna be, a normal person. I'm not even gonna be like the Muzungus, because there are people lighter than me. And
By the
true,
Amazon means
whites, light skinned. Yeah. So when I came to Canada, in the beginning it was normal. It was just I was going to school, coming home. I was very antisocial, very, very antisocial. I would go to school, go to my classes, and go back home. And people would be like, "Oh, you're so quiet and everything." And deep down, I'm like, I wish you knew who I was when I was in Uganda, right? I really hated school. And like I just wanted to be with my friends, even though I was trying to come to Canada because of the people making me uncomfortable. I really missed my friends and everything. I miss church. I hated church here in Canada. You know how we used to have so much fun in Uganda, but then here it was so boring. It was so dead. And I was like, bro, I wish I could fly. Like, I would attend school here, and during the weekend I would go to Uganda. And then yeah, like in the beginning it was a normal life. And so when you come to like in the Habesha community, like Eritrean and Ethiopian, when you're new to a country, everybody invites you to their home, and they say welcome to Canada, blah blah blah, Calgary and everything. So we used to, like, every Sunday we're going to someone's house every time, because Monday to Friday we're usually at school and my parents are at work. But during the weekends we are going to someone's place. So there are very many people I met that I didn't even know. they were my family, right? They'll tell me, oh, this one is your family. And I'm like, oh, okay, So and people would tell me, why don't you go to the for modeling? And I've always wanted to go for modeling. And so many people tell me, even in Uganda, they used to tell me. And I was even asked to be in a music video in Uganda and everything, but my mom refused. But it became, I can say I became so passionate about it when I came here. And I was like, yeah, I want to go for modeling and everything, right? They used to tell me, you have the height, you have everything. And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go. And people would praise me like, yo, you have nice hair, you have nice body and everything. And each time someone comments a good comment, my mom would put a bad comment. She'd be like, oh, this ugly one. And instead of listening to the good comments, I was always listening to my mom's comments. Every time I would forget whatever that person told me, and I would remember what my mom told me. And I love wearing skinny jeans because I'm skinny, so yeah, I don't like wearing baggy jeans. So whenever I'm going, like I started going to the malls and everything, people would ask me like, are you a model and everything? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And people are like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And whenever the person leaves, even though it's a white, whatever the person is leaves, my mom tells me, they're lying you. You know, you're not.
Just to lower your pride.
Yeah. She's like, they're lying you. And I was like, oh, they're lying me. So and I used to go to school where everybody wears makeup. Like everybody was wearing makeup. They have, in Uganda, people never used to wear even earrings or anything to school.
Yeah,
right?
there is strict rules. Even the shoes, it has to be black, white socks.
Mm-hmm.
No,
just a different color.
It's like a British school, right? But I think even in the British schools, they allow some sort of makeup there. There's no makeup. They don't even allow hair apart from us. But yeah, it's very, very, very strict. Like even like the hairstyle, it has to be just like big bun, like when the army, just the army, no lip balm. They prefer your lips cracking. Okay, if you have to put any moisturizer or anything, it has to be like this one that's like non-glossy or nothing, like the one that doesn't show anything. So yeah.
Yeah. So in Uganda, earrings were, as Dureti said, even earrings, like we had one style. If you leave your hair out, they'll tell you tie it and everything. But when you come here, people are free, people do whatever they want. So in my primary school, it was also free. People used to wear earrings and everything. So I used to wear earrings until my mom was like, no more earrings, right? So I think it was grade 6 when my mom said no more earrings. So you know what I used to do? I asked mom money for I think a set, or I don't know, a ruler or something. When you ask your parents for pocket money to buy something. And then she gave it to me, and I asked a girl to buy me earrings. So I used to keep them in my class. So whenever I go to class, I used to put them in, and then when I'm leaving, I remove them, right? So my mom wouldn't know that I actually have earrings. I actually told her this story, I think last summer, and she's like, what? You were doing this for and I was like, yeah, I was the only one not wearing earrings, so I felt bad. And actually, I don't know why, but to me, earrings like give you the beauty, like they bring out your beauty. So yeah.
My, for us, we didn't even have none of that earring, whatever thing. You gotta look like the way I'm looking, but with the hair at the back and the uniform. Yeah.
So when I came here, everyone used to wear makeup, and I also felt like the black sheep again. Even though I was getting praises from elsewhere, even from school, people would be like, "Oh, you look good" and everything. But deep down, I'm like, I want to start makeup. I don't want to look like this, you know. I want to look more beautiful and everything. And I don't know how many videos I've watched makeup tutorials.
Wow.
I used to spend hours on makeup tutorial videos. And man, if you want to love yourself, leave Instagram. You know, when you're scrolling on Instagram, you will feel like the ugliest person on this earth.
Everyone is using filters, everyone is using, I don't know, makeup, and you're just there, but
Hmm.
yeah.
And I don't know why, but I was also fake in social media. You know, I used to show like, oh, I have a perfect life and everything. But deep down, I was so insecure. And man, you know how we'd be like, oh, they have flat tummies. Remember how we used to put our tummies in when it's time for the
Yeah, everybody's
picture?
like,
Yeah, like you're making sure your tummy is in, you're in a good angle, and the person taking your picture is also in a good angle and everything, and your picture is gonna come out well. It's not the person's shape or anything, but
yeah.
at some point we're just childish, you know. So yeah, but I wasn't working and I was broke. I didn't have any money, anything, you know. And starting makeup, that means you have to have money because makeup products are really expensive. And
But God can save you in good ways, you people. Brokenness is one of them. Ah, yeah.
so one time, my mom was on a call, I think with her brother. She was talking with somebody, and they were saying like, you know, these days everybody's beautiful. And I was like, yes, it's because of makeup, you know, everybody's beautiful because of makeup. And that's why I want to begin. And my mom was like, my mom, she doesn't allow me to put anything on my face, not even, you know, going to the store and buying face masks. She does not allow me to even buy face masks. And she was like, what? Where did you get this understanding from? Right. So she ended the call and she was like, why do you want to start makeup? Because you have been saying, you know, sometimes when you want to do something, you oversay it. Makeup is this. Makeup. I was over talking about makeup, and my mom was like, you have been talking about makeup lately a lot. So tell me about it. And I was like, oh, I hate the way I look. So I'm gonna put makeup to make sure I look like the person I want to look until I get my surgery because I wanted these things out of my face. And she's like, what? Why do you want to do makeup? You're good the way you are. And I was like, you're the same person who said I'm ugly every time someone says I'm beautiful. And that's when she actually opened up to me. And she was like, the reason why I've been doing that is because I saw how when someone, you know, talks well about you, your pride increases. So I had to bring your pride down. And I was like, still, I'm starting makeup. And I was like, you're just saying that to make me feel you're just saying that so that I don't start makeup. And she was like, I'm actually speaking the truth. You're beautiful the way you are. You don't need to put anything on yourself, right? And I was like, okay, like for me, when I wanted to change everything about myself. I hated everything. I used to say, okay, for my forehead, I used to say I have a big forehead. So in order to have a smaller forehead, I used to do my baby hair, you know, my edges. And then for my eyebrows, I used to say like I'm going to, you know, do the eyebrows thing. Okay, the only thing I used to actually love are my lashes and my lips. Those ones I've never said, oh, I want this. My lashes are long and so they actually look fake, so I didn't care. And my face, I wanted my face slimmer.
I'm sorry.
I, I wanted my face slimmer. Like there's every part of me that I was like, my eyes, I wanted them smaller because people used to say I have big eyes. So I wanted them small. Like I wanted to change everything about me, like the whole face, you know. And I watched a video where there was this girl, she went to do surgery, right, for her face. because she saw someone, in a good body and everything, and her face, everything was good. So she's like, I'm also going to do surgery. So she saved money and everything. And it was a cartoon, it wasn't like a real person. These people were just trying to teach people, you don't need surgery and everything. And after doing surgery, she liked the way she was looking, right? You know how different trends come every time. So today they made like figure eight, and then next time they like figure one and everything. So after a few years, they started liking a different style. And she did surgery again to look like that, like the way those people were looking. And every year, like every time she was like doing surgeries and surgeries until she couldn't do anymore. And her face, her body, everything were like, destroyed and everything. And I was like, because like when I was younger, I wanted long hair. When I got long hair, I was like, oh, I want to cut it, I want short hair, like we humans, we will never be satisfied of how we look or what we have. We are always ungrateful. I think we're the most ungrateful creatures on earth,
Yeah, because we compare ourselves,
Yeah.
and we set the so-called trends and all of this. You'll never see a baboon setting trends or a lion setting trends. Okay, this is how we are hunting down the antelope this time. So you go like this, and there's no trends on how you do your things. It's just us who do stupid things, to be honest. And speaking of this, like everything that you're saying just relates so much with like what has been the conversations I've been having with people this past week. I was having a conversation just today and yesterday with my friend. So, this thing of makeup. So, on prom was the day that in Uganda they could put makeup. Unfortunately, I did not attend the prom, but fortunately also at the same time because it was a good thing. But yeah, I did not attend the prom in Uganda, but I had attended other proms, and my friends attended. So they were like, so a friend of mine told me, please get for me some pictures and stuff, send it to me. And I got those pictures and sent it, and we were just bursting out of laughter because the makeup looked so hilarious. You guys, like, it looked too funny for life. And yet back then, like, it was like, wow, we're gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like, so trends come and go. Like, even if you look at like the clothes people used to wear back then, and then you look at the clothes that they wear, those days we used to do this, it's like cool, and now like, that's so fake. So if you follow trends, you will always be fake, to be honest. That's just the plain truth. But if you just stick, like, there is no day, I was telling my friend, there is no day that you'll find this natural face being a trend and it being fake. Who will ever come and say, bro, that was a fake style? This is natural. This is natural. You know what I mean? So there is no day that, I don't know, a set of earrings, a set of what, like, if you just stick to how God made you, like, God's design is timeless. Y'all hear me? God's design is timeless. God's design is perfect. It beats all trends, And yeah, the only thing is it's just in here. For as long as you change your mentality, start loving who you are, then there's no need to follow the trends, There's no need. Yeah. So, Divora, go ahead and continue with the story. So how did it go? After all these, all these ups, all these downs, at some point you feel so proud, and at some point you're so low, and you're just up and down. How did you at last manage this entire thing and say, okay, you know what? Enough.
Okay, before I go there, there's some part I missed. So many modeling agencies were, emailing me, telling me, do you want to join and everything? And I'd get excited. Yes, I want to join and everything. But I went for only one interview. From all those agencies, I only went for one. And I told my mom, there's this agency, they want to, hire me and everything. And my mom was like, you're not gonna go. And I was like, bruh, you like destroying all my dreams. I've always, like, from since I was young, I've always wanted to be a basketballer, but basket player. But then like my height and everything, but my mom was like, no, you're not gonna play because you're going to lose focus on school. Then I was like, okay, no problem. So when I said I want to go for modeling, my mom was like, no, you're not gonna go. That's not good for you and everything. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go. And sometimes when I want to do something, nobody can stop me, like nobody. And I was like, I'm gonna go. And then I talked with my brother and he was like, you know what? He told me, don't tell mom, but I'll take you. I'll
Your
drop
brother is
you.
in trouble too. Everybody's in trouble after this.
My mom actually knows. She knows,
Yeah.
right? And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna take you and everything, but don't tell. And I don't know about moms. I always tell my mom, like, you have juju because, like, how do you know? She called me and she's like, Divora, I know you're on the way. Turn the car and come back home.
Oh
And I was
wow.
like, how do you know? She's like, I know, turn the car and come. Because I know, you like mothers know you so well that they know what you're gonna do, right?
Mm.
And she's like, because she knew the day and the time I was supposed to be in that interview. And I hadn't come home, like at that time. So she's like, she was going for the interview. She's like, you are return. And I was like, I'm not coming back. And then she's like, you're not coming back. I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. And she's like, okay, then you're not going to come home, right? And I was like, bruh, those people say they're going to give me a whole house, like an apartment to myself. So I was like, okay, no problem, bye,
Teenage
And
things, Wanang.
I'm telling you.
Ooh.
So my mom thought like her telling me you will not come back home would actually, I would be like, oh, I have nowhere to go. I have to go back home. I was like, bro, these people already told me they're gonna pay for my apartment. So
Yes.
I went, I did the interview. Actually, the place was like 30 minutes from my house. We went for the interview and it went so well. And they told me that, yo, when I heard the money they're gonna pay me, I did not even think. I said, yes, I'm doing it.
How
You know,
much was it, if you don't mind sharing?
they told me the starting point is $50 per hour. That time, minimum wage was what, $13? And people are getting $13 and I'd be getting 50, and
The devil is a liar. Okay. Let us slash him off with his money. We're not saying that money is from the devil, but the devil has traps, okay? And he knows where you're in need. That's what we're saying. Not that money is bad, please. We all need money. Yeah.
So I was like, $50. I was like, of course I'm gonna do it. And I told them, but I have my conditions, right? I told them I cannot wear certain types of clothes like bikini and everything. And I told them I'm also like, I can't wear makeup. And they were like, oh, no problem. But I'm sure they wanted me in. And then, when you enter, they're going to
They
be like,
influence you.
you have to wear this and everything, right? So I was signing documents and everything. And she told me, how old are you? I was like, I'm 17. She's like, I'm sorry. We can't bring you in unless your parents signs. And I was like, what? I thought that my brother is there. Like, can my brother sign? She's like, no, like, we take our things serious. So we don't want to do something. And then your parent gets mad at us and, suing the company and everything. So your parent needs to sign. I was like, raw. At that time, I didn't understand that God was closing all doors to save me. But
nice.
later on, I started realizing that all those doors, like my mom closing all those doors for me, was actually for my own good, you know.
Mm.
Then COVID hit in 2020, and you know, when they said we're gonna see the beauty of girls now because the makeup companies are closed and everything, I was like saying, finally, everyone is gonna look the same.
Ah,
I was like, finally, everyone is gonna look the same, right? I don't have to look bad and everybody looks good. Like we will all look the same and everything. And then boredom attacked, you know, when you're in lockdown, it was really boring and everything. And me and my sister, we said, you know, let's start TikTok, you know, let's start dancing and everything. And I was like, "Ah, you know, I'll be famous and everything. Ah." So we were actually practicing dances in order to
that's the
post
thing is, what do they do?
those trends. Yeah. So I was
Again, trends, you people. Human beings, we need that. We need to do better. This trend thing.
actually.
Mm.
So I was actually someone who was really addicted to TikTok. So I was like, oh, okay, you know, we already know what's going on TikTok. So all we have to do is copy what they're doing and then post our videos, right? And and then I used to listen to world music too. I used to love world music. And Dureti, she was like, Divora, you know, we became friends again. We had stopped talking for a few months. And then we started talking, and she's like, join this group, join Zoom. And then I joined and I was like, I don't want this, you know? And every time she's calling me, join, right? Like you are always the one pushing me to join, even though I didn't want to join. And then one Sabbath, they were talking about music. Do you remember? You were talking about music and everything. And I was like, these people just want to destroy my dream, you know?
You're like the devil is destroying my dreams. First of all, modeling, and then now again.
Like everything I want, like I want to be something, there's always something coming and destroying it. And
Yeah.
then was it the next day or 2 days after I posted that picture? And a picture with a song that was like with the
I think, yeah, I
rain
think it
talk.
was around that time.
Yeah, it was like a few days after. And Dureti was like, she called me and she's like, man, we're learning about music. And you post a whole song. And I was like, nah. And she's like, delete it, repost it with a gospel song. And I was like, I love that song.
By
I'm
the way,
like,
guys, don't think anyhow because okay, like you have to know how we talk to each other in order to understand our relationship. For us, that's how we talk. Please don't come telling me, man, leave people on their journey. Please. Me and Divora, that's how we talk. Okay? From the beginning, we just tell each other things. Like we don't know how to sugarcoat stuff. So you can ask her if you think I'm lying. Isn't it the truth?
yeah, she's like my second mom. Yeah,
That's
she
that's how
comes.
we talk. Like we just yap. Like if she sees whatever, she will just come. Obviously, like as long as she is okay. If she's not okay, I'm not gonna talk like that. But if she's okay, I'll just be like, bro, what did you just do? You know, like we are each other's keepers. We slap each other all the time. So don't come at me, please.
Yeah, and for me, I like my spiritual life. Like I improved not because people told me, but because I believe in it, right?
Yeah.
So even the way I used to dress, people used to hate the way I used to dress and everything. And so when I came to Canada, when I went to church for the first Sabbath, I was the only one wearing a long dress. So I felt bad. I was like, bro, I'm not wearing a long dress again. So I went shopping and I shopped short dresses so that I don't be the black sheep there. Then people started wearing long dresses. I was like, bro, you know? So people were like, you have to wear long dresses to church. They were bringing the dress reforms and everything. And I would be like, it would enter here, get out here. You know, I would tell them like, God sees what's in the heart, you know? And
By the way, guys, Divora is stubborn, just so you know.
yeah, like I can say, okay, I'll change and everything, but at some point I'm like, I don't believe in it. So when the right time comes for me to believe in it, I'm going to believe in it, right? So like my spiritual life grew, like I became stronger and stronger from 2020. Like I was meeting people. At some point, my friends were influencing me, right? um because I like when your friends are like, going crazy, you're also gonna go crazy, right? Because at some point I actually showed my true colors, and I wasn't that shy girl anymore that I was in the beginning. And actually, like, I'm crazier in person than online, right? In person, I'm like, that social person and everything. But online, I'm like quiet and everything. So, yeah, my spiritual life, improved. And I studied about music, that I stopped listening to world music. I even stopped TikTok. My dream crashed, but I'm glad it did, to be a TikToker. And
By the way, you can do TikTok for the word of God, but like the TikTok that she's talking about is the dancing trends, things like that. Yeah.
yeah. And 2021, that's where life really hit me so bad that I was going through a lot of depression. I was going through so many things. And, I was like, bro, this life is too short. Why would I waste my time trying to be somebody else when I am me, right? I'm not only special, but I'm a miracle. I saw a video where it was like, do you know that you're one out of a billion? Like, I don't even know how to say this. Out of 40 billion, like out of 40 billion, you came out, right? So the 40 billion, okay, anyways, let's move on. Like,
Let's leave the numbers alone. Let's just focus on the point.
like, you're a miracle. You're not special. You're a miracle. And I was still processing that, even though I didn't actually believe in that I was a miracle. I was someone uh, worth a lot. And people would tell me like, you're worth something and everything. But deep down, I felt like I was worthless, like nothing. And when depression hit, I was like, why was my whole life, I was caring about how I look, but it's not gonna do anything. Like, what has beauty done? Like nothing. What can beauty do? Beauty can't pay your bills. Beauty can't, take care of your family. Beauty can't do anything. At some point, it's going to fade away. So, like, instead of trying to compete with other people, trying to, be like, oh, I'm number one and everything, like your pride going so high and everything, just humble yourself, love yourself. Like, if somebody nowadays tells me, oh, you're this, I'm like, okay, like what? I really don't care.
Yeah.
I love the way I look. And if you're being negative, okay, thank you. And before, when someone tells me, oh, you're beautiful or anything, my pride used to go really high. But through prayers, I was like, God, I don't want to be that prideful person again. Like, help me to humble myself. Help me, just to appreciate who I am. And it was actually, people may think I changed last year, but I just changed like a week ago.
Amen.
Ah, this testimony was supposed to happen in April, guys. In
Guys,
April.
hey, that the trials and the you just see us here looking good, speaking well, but you don't know anyway, I'll share at the end. You continue.
So this testimony was supposed to happen in April, but things would happen and we would say next week, next week, next week. And I was like, wow, why isn't it happening? Why can't it just happen? And it ends. But actually, God wanted me to see a part of life where I was like, I was satisfied with how I was and everything. But a week ago, I was like, bruh, I wasn't satisfied. And I was like, I actually didn't love myself, and I was asking myself, if I didn't love myself, was I actually loving people? And because in order to love others, I'm supposed to love myself first, right?
And and
And
and, and share that verse, because that verse you shared with me really, like, I really like had to sit and like think deep and just think about it. So please listen. If you weren't listening, listen now. Share that verse and why we should love who we are.
I don't think so. I have it. I think you have
It's
it.
okay. You can just share it from your head.
I don't know it.
Let me share it for you guys.
Okay.
She shared with me there is two sets of commandments. One of them is to love God with all your heart, all your soul, with all your mind, and all that type of thing. And the second one is love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, if you do not love yourself, how will you be able to love your neighbor? I know, right? Yeah. Please reflect upon that. How will you love your neighbor if you do not appreciate who God has made you to be? If you're not proud of God as your maker, if you're not appreciating the beauty that God has given you, if you're not loving the person that God has made you. Now, we're not saying stay with your flaws and love your flaws, okay? Like, there are things like character. Those are things we can build, right? But like, love the person that God has made you to be, order to love others. Yeah.
And yeah, I was thinking about another verse, but anyways,
Can
and
share that.
this verse that says you are wonderfully and beautifully made.
Mhm.
So, man, guys, 9 months. God spent 9 months creating you. It wasn't like 1 day or 2 days, 9 months making sure your eyebrows look this, the eyes look this, the nose and everything, so that you look perfect. So I
Amen.
wanted to appreciate it.
Preach. Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, this is how we are all the time, guys.
Yeah, like yeah, I've remembered, like like when we're in our teenagers and everything, like we always be like, oh, I have to look this type of way and everything. But the more you grow, the more you realize that personality and character are the most important things. Somebody can look so handsome or so beautiful, but inside they are rotten. And when you see their inside beauty, you even be like, their outside beauty even disappears. But somebody can be like a normal looking person, but inside they're like the most beautiful people.
True.
And you get attracted to them because of how they are, how their inside is. And like, we shouldn't be concentrating about our outside looks, because at some point it's going to disappear, it's going to fade away. But our inner beauty, it's going to stay there forever. So instead of caring about how you look, care about how you are inside. How do you treat people? How do you love people?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, continue. Me, I'm just here enjoying your words.
Yeah, like, love yourself. I'm not saying that don't take care of yourself. Like, take care of yourself, do your hair, everything, look good, but also don't have pride. Humble yourself and just love who you are without having pride. It's something very hard, actually. Like, pride was something that I was fighting for a very long time, very, very long time. I was like the most prideful person, even though I didn't show it deep down. People who knew me well, they knew I was a very prideful person. But then I had to pray over it, and by God's grace, it was washed away. And God taught me how to humble myself, even though I'm better than other people in some way. Someone can be good in math and you're bad, right? Even though you're better than them, like, just act like normal. Yeah, just humble.
Everyone is gifted in a different way. And I just want to at last bring in this very, very, very different idea that people of the world have. Like the way the world has made it look nowadays, like self-love, it's a big thing, and the devil has really tainted this thing. He has made it all about selfishness, and that's not the type of self-love that we're talking about. We're talking about self-love that's from the Lord, guys. Self-love that makes you want to love others, that makes you a better person from inside out, that makes you glorify God. We're not talking about this one where you go naked because you're being self-love. I have seen that, by the way, guys. Like, there are people who create accounts, and we're not judging, we're just saying it's a very different and very wrong idea, like that the devil is fixing in people's heads. And it's easy to be deceived, guys. If we didn't know the truth too, we would have done the same thing. It's easy. And as we said, trends are always there, right? Nowadays, self-love is all about self. Like, it's this like uh, very selfish thing. Like, I'm just going to do this because of me. Like, I'm gonna go for salon day, and all these things are good. But like, if you're just doing it out of a selfish whatever, then it's not really good. Think about yourself, but also think about others, because that's the character of God. He thinks about us. He doesn't just think about himself. So make sure that you're not caught up in yourself in all these things. Make sure that you're also thinking about others. Make sure that you're also loving others, the people around you. And if your whole point of having the whole, like, loving yourself, if your whole point of loving yourself is to have a greater impact on others, then that's really good. But if your whole point of self-love is just like revenge, or like, whatever, I'm not gonna go expose my entire body because I am self-love, like, that's not self, like, that's just toxicity. Let's just be honest, that's toxicity. It's not really helping you. So we can do better and promote the best self-love that will actually heal. Because if you still have those wounds inside you, and you're trying to, like, let's say what, I have a tummy, right? Like, I have a tummy, and people have been making fun of me and stuff. Like, and if I haven't healed those wounds inside, me just going and exposing my tummy on Instagram ain't gonna heal nothing. Let's just be honest. That's the fact. As a matter of fact, you will just bring more problems. So, but you forgiving those people who said whatever they said, and you doing something to the better of, maybe loving it and just saying, okay, God, I appreciate you for this, or working maybe to have whatever type of tummy you want, or just embracing whoever you want, whatever you want to do, that's a better thing. But you just going and revenging or trying to do things to annoy people, that's not benefiting you, and that's not self-love. So we just want to clarify that. Now, Divora, in a few seconds, please tell us, what is your word to someone out there, someone who is watching you today, and they see themselves in the shoes of that girl that you're from describing to us? What is your word to her or him?
Okay. All I can say is your worth. I don't even money is still little, right? Like, Christ died for you on the cross. Imagine Christ shed his blood for you. That means, man, you're the most precious being, and we're all precious, right? And yeah, sometimes you're going to feel worthless. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're nothing and everything. But just remember that Christ died for you. And as Dureti said, self-love doesn't mean, like, you have to put yourself on top of others, but just putting yourself like the way you treat other people. Self-love can be like, waking up, eating healthy, going to exercise, having fresh air, just spending time with yourself and loving who you are. And in order to love other people, you have to start loving yourself too. My mom always taught me this: in order to love other people, you need to love your siblings and your parents, right? Because if you don't have love in your family, how are you going to love other people, right? So even Christ said, if you don't love your brother, how do you say you love me, right? So in order to love other people, we should start practicing love on us. Like, there's sometimes I've wished so bad things on myself. There's so many times I'd be like, oh, I wish, I die and everything, or I'd be like, I want to punish myself. But would I do it to somebody else? If I'm able to do it to myself, then that means I could do it to somebody else, right? So love yourself, know that you're precious, know that you're special, you know. Yeah, like God spent 9 months creating you, and also He shed His blood for you. So
Amen.
why would you feel like you're worthless, you know?
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. And as you said, speaking of healthy things, if you want to maybe improve your health and all this, you can go follow God's Pharmacy. We also have a YouTube channel. A little advert here. Allow me, guys. Also, if you want to talk to Divora, one-on-one, her social media handle, please let us know.
Oh, my Instagram handle is Divora, Divora, but after every letter there's a period. So
Okay. And then we'll probably add it in the description later on. And I also would like to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Divora, for joining me here. The last thing that I want to say, which I wanted to wrap this entire thing with, is that guys, it's not really as easy as you see organizing all these things and coming live in front of you. It's really difficult, especially dealing with spiritual battles. Like Divora and I, whoever I'm being joined with usually faces spiritual battles, and I am faced with like huge spiritual battles normally. So please keep us in your prayers. Keep the Voice That Heals in your prayers, because this is a ministry that has impacted so many people's lives, and we still want it to impact so many people's lives. So please keep us in your prayers so that God can continue doing the work that He wants us to do. I will share my stories probably next time, but guys, it's not easy, but with God everything is possible. So I just want to finish this with saying, love the person that God has made you to be, and so that you can love others, right? Yeah, God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next one 2 weeks from now. Stay tuned at 6 p.m. Have a good time. Bye-bye. Thank you, Divora, for joining.
Of the rain, the Lord will never waste our pain. He brings beauty out of brokenness and hope through our heartaches, healing out of every hurt that invades our shattered world. We never walk through trials in vain. Is the Redeemer